The drought of 1880 had turned the Texas Panhandle into a graveyard of cracked earth and withered dreams when Elias Hawthorne stumbled upon them. Two Comanche women sprawled unconscious beside his failing well, their bodies etched with starvation but built like forged steel. The shorter one measured close to 6 feet, her frame lean and powerful. The taller one, heaven help him, towered at least 6'5", her presence alone enough to make a man question his grip on reality. Their fringed hides clung loosely to muscles honed by years of hardship. These weren't fragile survivors. They were fighters, plain and simple. Elias's prosthetic arm clicked against his rifle stock as he hesitated, every instinct honed from Bull Run screaming at him to turn away. But when the tall one's eyes cracked open, sharp as a hawk's and deep with unspoken stories, something inside him shifted. She tried to whisper, her voice lost to parched lips, while her companion stirred, revealing a jagged scar that had stolen her left eye. That single remaining eye locked onto Elias with the ferocity of a cornered wolf. Sweat trickled down his back in the September heat. Helping them could end him, but walking away? That might kill what was left of his soul. Elias Hawthorne had been dodging shadows for 4 years now. The wooden arm was a constant reminder of Antietam's bloody fields, where Union shrapnel had turned his right limb into splintered ruin. But the deeper scars were the ones that woke him screaming ghosts of fallen comrades. The endless silence of this forsaken ranch 40 miles from Amarillo. Out here, a man could lose himself in the vastness until fate dropped trouble at his doorstep. Water, the one-eyed woman rasped in broken English, her accent thick as mesquite smoke. Elias's fingers tightened on his Winchester, knowing these women could overpower him even in their weakened state. Yet their desperation mirrored his own, a hollow echo in the mirror each morning. He lowered the rifle and fetched his last bucket from the well, watching as the tall one steadied her sister, their bond evident in every careful gesture. Her hide tunic had ripped at the seam, exposing bronze skin taut over warrior's muscle. "I'm Lo Mai Sai," she said at last, her English surprisingly fluid. "This is my sister, Takala." Elias nodded toward his weathered shack. "Elias Hawthorne. Call me Eli. You two on a run." Lo Mai Sai's jaw clenched. Fort Sill, accused of murdering the commander's nephew. Eli's stomach dropped. Fort Sill was a powder keg, a government pen for Comanche, starved and stripped of dignity. If they'd killed an officer's kin. "Did you?" Takala's scarred voice cut in. "No, but I wish I had." The truth spilled out. The nephew, a brute named Harlan, had cornered Lo Mai Sai, claiming reservation women were Army property. When she fought back, Takala intervened, knife in hand. They fled into the Badlands, but Caldwell's posse was closing in. Dust rose on the horizon like a bad omen riders, maybe a dozen strong. Eli's ammo was low. 10 shells for the rifle, 5 in his revolver. Supplies wouldn't stretch for 3. Logic demanded he send them packing. But watching Lo Mai Sai cradle Takala's hand fierce, protective, tender, it stirred memories of his own lost family, letters from his sister silenced by the war. "There's a storm cellar out back," he muttered. "Stone-lined, hidden trapdoor. Get in." Lo Mai Sai's eyes searched his. "Why help us?" Eli met her gaze. "Because some ghosts are heavier alone." The cellar reeked of earth and damp, shadows pressing close as sin. Eli crouched with them, boots thundering overhead as Caldwell's men tore through the shack. "Hawthorne," Major Caldwell's voice boomed, laced with federal fury and personal grudge. "I know you're harboring those savages. They slit Harlan's throat like a pig. Hiding them makes you complicit." Through cracks in the stone, Eli spied the major on horseback, a hulking figure with a mustache like barbed wire and eyes cold as steel. His troopers fanned out, rifles glinting. Lo Mai Sai stiffened beside him, her heat radiating in the confined space, sage and sweat mingling with something primal. When her arm brushed his, a spark ignited desire he thought the war had killed. "Your nephew tried to force me," she whispered fiercely. "Takala saved me. She'd do it again." Takala's hand gripped a bone-handled blade, her scarred face unyielding. These women had killed to protect honor, and they'd fight to the death. Boots neared the cellar. Discovery was inevitable. Lomesai leaned in, breath hot on his ear. "Caldwell wants something more than us dead. Quanah Parker's hidden arsenal in the Llano Estacado, 40 carbines, powder for a season's raid." Eli's pulse raced. That cache could reignite the Comanche Wars, blood soaking the plains. "You'd give it up?" Her hand found his in the dark, calluses rough yet warm. "To save my sister. To save you." The words hung heavy betrayal for survival. Above, Caldwell snarled, "Torch it, boys. Ismolki ingauchi." Kerosene stench seeped down. Lomesai stood, her towering form goddess-like in the gloom, curves and strength silhouetted. "I'll trade the info for safe passage to Mexico for all three." Eli gripped her arm, feeling iron muscle. "He'll betray us." Takala's grin flashed wicked. "Not if I put a bullet in him first." The standoff unfolded in Eli's barren yard under a merciless sun. Caldwell loomed on his mount, troopers in a half circle, triggers itchy. Lomesai positioned between Eli and Takala, her stature commanding respect. 40 Spencer repeating carbines, she declared, eyes locked on Caldwell. Ammunition for months. The major licked his lips greedily. "Where?" "Your word first, safe conduct to the border. No hunt, no warrants. You murder my kin. Your kin try to rape me. Comanche code allows defense of honor your own, regulations agree." Murmurs rippled among the troopers. Whispers of Harlan's abuses had spread. Caldwell's face purpled. Indian code means squat. Then no deal. Tension crackled like dry lightning. Eli tasted fear, sweat stinging his eyes. Takala tracked every movement, predator ready. Finally, Caldwell spat, "Passage to Mexico. 60 days grace in my honor as an officer." Lomesai revealed the location, Caprock Canyon, under the split boulder. Caldwell wheeled away, men galloping off in a dust storm. In the quiet aftermath, Eli confronted her. "That arsenal means death for dozens." Lomesai's gaze was steel. Dozens already doomed. Caldwell would crush them, starving. Now they fight on their terms. Brutal math, but war had taught Eli the same. As they packed scant supplies, Lomesai drew close, her touch electric. "Come with us. Mexico offers forgetfulness." For a heartbeat, Eli envisioned it striding south with these fierce women, trading solitude for something alive. But his ranch, his ghosts, anchored him. "This is my fight." She nodded, understanding the scars that bound. Her kiss on his cheek was fleeting, tasting of dust and what-ifs. Then they vanished south, leaving Eli with echoes and emptiness. 3 years blurred into dust devils. Eli sold the spread in 1883 after the last Comanche bands yielded and the frontier was tamed. Every shadow whispered of that night, choices that traded lives for lives. In Amarillo's dusty saloon, nursing bourbon that burned like regret, a barfly slurred tales of Quanah surrender, warriors exiled to Oklahoma pens. Pity those 2 tall Comanche sisters gone down in some Sonoran ravine by rurales. Eli's glass froze. Then she entered, Lomesai, aged by trials, in a calico dress that couldn't hide her regal height. Her eyes met his across the haze, sparking recognition. She slid into his booth like fate. Favala. Gone. Dysentery last spring. Died free in the Sierras. Silence wrapped them as saloon chatter buzzed. "I translate for the Indian Bureau now," she said, helping the remnants settle. Her smile twisted ironically. Caldwell, ambushed and dead 6 months after. Likely by warriors finding an empty cache was relocated months before. Laughter tore from Eli Dark, cathartic. We risked everything for a bluff. No, for breath. For becoming. Outside, Amarillo hummed with progress telegraphs, rails, civilized and wild. Inside, two survivors shared peace born of fire. I must go, Lomesai said, rising. But Eli stood too. Not alone. Not anymore. She paused, then took his handrail this time. They walked into the sunset, ghosts fading, futures clear. Honor defended, betrayals redeemed, lives intertwined in hard-won victory. What do you think? Drop a comment below sharing your take on the tough choices Elias, Lomesai, and Takala faced. Whose side are you on in that tense standoff, justice for the women or the law's pursuit? Let me know your stance and why it hits home.